Are you ready?
Yes.
Cool. Welcome back. My name is Kyle Mao. I'm the founder and CEO of HireUA. And today we've got Pablo, who has recently hired an executive assistant from us. And he's here to talk all about her and what she's done before she actually joins us on the call. And we kind of going through a consultation here about how to get the best out of it. So thank you for taking the time today, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Kyle. Appreciate it.
Can you talk a little bit about what you came to HireUA for and how that has worked out for you so far?
Yeah. So I was in the middle of, so I was running my marketing agency, which I still am. And we also launched a new consulting offer. And I was very much drowning when I reached out. I probably should have reached out the day before. Like it was right there. Had I
Yeah.
waited any longer, I would have drowned. And I reached out. In my head, I actually didn't even know exactly what I needed, but in my head, it would have looked like a customer success agent and perhaps a virtual assistant. Um, but I was also very open in saying that like I hadn't ever hired someone before. And what you did, which I think off the bat way exceeded the value and just made a huge, like a really good first impression, was you consulted me on what you thought would be best for my situation, given
Mhm.
your own expertise, given other business owners you've helped in the past, I'm sure. And so you recommended that, you suggested that that could look like one person or one position. And so that's what ended up happening, and it worked out marvelously.
Yeah, and I actually even remember looking at the interviews of some of your candidates, and I looked at her and I was like, "That's going to be the one." I even called that shot beforehand. So tell me about just what she's done because it's been a little over a month. You already executed a buyout. You're going to work directly with her. So just tell me what she's done to the team and the company for you so far.
I'm going to attempt to answer this, but I'm probably going to forget some things because she's done so much. The trajectory of our business has taken a 180 in a good way. So we are, and credits due to you for just, I don't know if you do this intentionally, but um, we were at a very unique stage. It was just me as a solo operator, and essentially a startup. And so
Mhm.
we navigate at a different speed than a lot of other businesses. This is not like I'm coming in with a 10-person team and there's all this structure. It's very much I needed someone who was as agile, as flexible, as understanding that the pace could be really intense one day and then really dead the next day, and willing to take initiative and see outside of the box. So um, she's definitely like, you don't get that unless you've worked in that sort of environment before. Um, and so much of the job is isn't on paper. Like the most we can say is call it ad hoc, but what that would
Mhm.
really look like is building processes and systems and giving things structure so that this doesn't look like a mess anymore, and it looks like an actual business that we can then scale on. So our capacity to generate money far exceeded our structure. What that means
Okay.
is I could make a lot of money, but I couldn't really do it consistently without burning out. So what she did immediately was, first off, free up my time.
Mhm.
So she on her so in the interview, I was flat out, I'm like, I've never hired an EA before. I don't necessarily know all the things that I need, but talk about how you might be able to come in and help. And so um, don't get me wrong, every candidate you presented was a rock star. Something about her and her experience and having been in that exact situation before um,
Mhm.
made me gravitate towards her, because again, that's an environment that you can't just speak on or talk about. I mean, you have to be in it to know how it affects things. Anyway, so to answer your question directly, she immediately freed up my time. Everything on the job description she took over in like 3 days. Like in that first week,
Excellent.
no joke. She's like and then from there she's been making things up on her own. So
Great.
she created a whole Notion database for us. Um, I very much involved her in the strategic decision. She's like, business acumen is up here, So it's like I said, I'm going to be forgetting a lot of things, but most of the things evolve around, number one, freeing my time and just watching my back, letting me
Mhm.
know, hey, you probably don't need to be spending time doing this sort of thing, or um, figuring out ways to save us all time, like to save the whole business time, or to put processes in place, SOPs. It's I don't sometimes it's so helpful I don't know how to receive the help. Sometimes I'm like, wow,
Excellent.
yeah, it's I didn't know I needed this.
Nobody does until they get one. And then it's like, wait, how did I do this before? And yeah,
Yeah,
I get you.
yeah.
Excellent. What's like the number one highlight? Would it be like that Notion database? Do you have something else? And then you just
The
shared
in
so
terms of like
much.
in terms of a tangible.
Yeah, like the number one thing that stands out.
Um, wow, she's so adaptable.
Okay.
Um, probably this is without doing her a disservice, but it's probably the Notion database that she built. She did it on her own. Like I didn't know, I didn't ask for it, right? So
Yeah.
there was a bunch. So how a startup works with this as a you've been a solo operator, I'm sure that it's everything exists and lives in your head. It's like you have 20 tabs that live in your head. Like, oh, I'm working on 20 different things. Like the content I got to produce, and then the video modules I got to add to the program, and I got this client and this meeting coming up, and everything lives in your head.
Hmm.
And everything is now centralized in one place. So should we ever have to hire anyone, which I'm sure I mean, we're going to be having a conversation. We're going to be having multiple conversations in the near future. But it makes the hiring process a lot easier. It makes handing off tasks a lot easier. We can actually keep track as to how long it's taking us to do things, or collaborating on like everything is centralized in one database. This looked like a really messy Google Drive,
Hmm.
uh, without any sort of project management element to it. It was just like a place where I just dumped things. And that has increased our business productivity. I can't even quantify it. We have a business now, thanks to her.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's been amazing.
Can you
Yeah,
speak just a little bit about the process? You said everyone was a rock star. Just like how long did it take? Did you find the process easy and simple? Was it just kind of show up and make a decision?
very easy, very simple, very fast. The three things that really speak to me as a business owner, especially I mean, at any stage, but as a solo operator, when I'm so time crunched, I reached out to you because I was time crunched,
Mhm.
and your service, the way it's laid out, caters directly to that. So, um, more specifically, I told you I told you my situation, and you recommended what would be a great fit for me. And I know sometimes people come in knowing what they needed, but you were able to help me just as much. And then from there, you and your team went and you found, or you actually created the job description. So you took what I was trying to say, and then you put it in an actual job description that would attract clearly A-level talent. Um, I don't, I, and then you presented the resume. The interviews were all lined up for me based on my availability. I just sent over my calendar. The resumes were presented. I took a look at them. They all passed the test on paper, and then in we did the interviews. You had coached me on how to take these interviews as well, which was very thoughtful of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm thinking of like all this is. I'm like, okay, it makes sense as to why it worked out.
There's a lot behind the scenes, actually. A lot of small secret parts over the years that we've built, and yeah, there's a sauce to it.
I bet. I used to work at a recruitment agency in
Mhm.
Toronto, accounting and finance recruitment agency. Not to say it's the exact same, but I say that to say um, I have a glimpse of an understanding of what goes into it, and I very much felt like I was taken care of and looked out for. The interview process, the actual interviews was very quick, half an hour, straight to the point. Every candidate was meant to be there. They were very much qualified. No time was wasted. Um, in my head, I had shortlisted it down to maybe two or three, but even then, I was still pacing around my house because the competition was it was tough. It was
Mhm.
tough, but great process overall. Would highly recommend. No complaints whatsoever. Definitely felt like it was there was a personal touch in there as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share this, man. We're going to do an hour of consulting, which HireUA clients get, and we're actually going to do it with her, which I'm actually pretty excited about because I've actually never met her. So I'm looking forward to this. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts about working with us, though.
Anytime, Kyle. It was a pleasure.
All right, cheers. Thank you, Pablo.